we're going to be joined right now by our friend Rick Grinnell, who is currently at the Kennedy Center, it looks like, also chatting with us. Rick, it has been a pretty wild weekend. Obviously, a lot of people woke up to the news of the passing of the Pope, but there's been the Easter egg roll this morning. Everyone had their Easter holiday, and we're celebrating going to church, Resurrection Day that was happening. But in that, there was a lot of noise from, of course, the left, who are trying desperately, it seems like, to push out one of President Trump's cabinet members. Now, this happens, and look, in Washington, D.C., it can happen, and it can actually get done. It can happen where there's enough pressure. I'm hoping and thinking that President Trump and this administration, a little bit different. They don't listen to the mainstream press as much as some of the others. But, Will, I'll let you take it from here.
Yeah, Rick, to me, this in some ways feels like something that would have happened at the beginning of the first Trump administration, where what we've seen is more coordination and better messaging in this second round to go into these bureaucracies and get things done. When you have a monolith like the Department of Defense with so many entrenched bureaucrats, and this is, once again, an agency, a department that can't pass an audit, you are going to have people there that don't like change and don't like restructuring. And so to me, this entire media swarm that came out over a holiday weekend where you were seeing headlines on every DC type media outlet about how bad Pete Hegseth is, it just felt so coordinated and obvious that the goal here was people inside the bureaucracy, the deep state, if you will, trying to push him out because he actually wants accountability there.
Yeah, look, I think your point on it feels exactly like the first term is exactly what I was thinking. This used to be a thing, right? The media would go after somebody and then there would be panic. And usually they're going after people that are effective. In Pete's case, they've never really let up. They just keep going after him. I know the feeling. And it doesn't matter, honestly. President Trump doesn't focus on that. He's not reading the New York Times or the Washington Post. All of these newspapers, by the way, they have paywalls. Raise your hand if you're paying for them. I'm not paying for them. You can't even click past it. And so I really don't think that it matters much. Pete just needs to stay focused on doing his job. He's doing a great job. The fact that he's losing some staffers is irrelevant, honestly. There are so many people that want to work there, that want to work for Pete. He'll have a pick of people. And, who knows why they're being let go. But one was already kind of talking to the media and talking about, inside information of chaos. And I think that's so typical of what people say. So in Washington, D.C., where I am now, I'm not always here. I don't always love being here, but I am here. And it's so typical of what this city does, which is try to talk about palace intrigue and gossip. But most of us know that we just ignore it. And I will say that most of our listeners are barely even hearing about it. It's good to confront it, but it is really just irrelevant gossip in Washington.
For full shows, live and on demand, it's Salem News Channel.